Good morning, traders. So let's get cracking with the Aussie. I think before we do it, if you do like what you see, just give us a thumbs up, or if you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. Leave us a comment. It really does help growing the channel and getting to more people. And that's the whole goal of this. Is really just to assist more people in becoming more financially stable with a second source of income. So without further ado, let's just mark there's 4 levels that I'm really interested in right now, and I'll explain them to you as soon as I've drawn them. Just give me one sec. Okay, so you can see we have 2 weekly range bars here. So this bar and this bar are both range bars, and so the levels I'm watching are the tops and bottoms of these range bars. So the why I'm watching it, because this range bar here has already broken to the upside, and normally we come and test the 50% of the range, which is there, and then we accelerate up to the 100 and then pull back, and then the 161 and then pull back, and then the 261. So that's kind of the levels that we go to, and these this 161 is really just a Fibonacci expansion. Okay, all of them are all these levels are Fibonacci expansions. So that's kind of the move that normally happens when we break out of a range bar. But we've come back to test the bottom of the range bar, so which is why I'm watching this with a lot of interest at this stage. And if we just wrong one. If we just highlight the second range bar, you'll see that the breakout was even further, but on this bar we've come just past the 50% here, and its target lines up pretty much with that high over there. Okay, so those 2 range bars are pretty much what I'm watching at the moment, and I'm watching with a lot of interest, because the break to the downside, it means that the break to the downside means that this breakout the upside failed, which would then accelerate to the target to the bottom. So this is really much a line in the sand for me at the moment, and let's just make it big, bold, red. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's just get down to the daily and have a look what else is going on. So, I mean, we've spoken about the wedge break on the daily. Wedge break has happened. That is pretty much the first target. The second target would be this tail over here, because that's essentially the first touch of the wedge. Okay, so there you can see what you want to do is travel the height of the wedge. So if I just take so from the first touch, there's the first touch, there's the first touch, so that would be the height of the wedge. Move that segment to the breakout there. So that's that's sort of the target that you want. But what I typically do is I just look back to where the touch is. So that would have been my first target on the wedge, this would have been the second target of the wedge, and this would be the final target. Okay, so we're just short of the final target on this wedge, but we are at a major resistance level. So, you know, if we do break below this, then there's more downside to come. But for me right now, we have closed below the 200-day moving average, which is bearish. But the awesome oscillator is still above the 0, and this diversion has played out quite nicely. But there's nothing really. Again, alligator is pointing to the downside, so it does look a little bit bearish. But remember, what we're looking for is a daily retest of this wedge break. Okay, and if that succeeds and we make another attempt at this level and break through, then I suspect we'll get downside. Okay, so for now, the play that I have for today is really looking for a long. I just want to delete that segment, and just want to check something here. Nope. Okay, I just remember I just copied the trend line on the top just to see if this was another broader channel, but it's not. But I can bring it down to this level here where I've got almost 2 touches on it, which well, we can move it to get 2 touches. Okay, we're still short, so we've got 2 touches there, but we're still short here. But we may get a 3rd touch. We may just hover here and touch it and then bounce the upside. This is kind of the pattern that I find plays out more often than not is channels, okay? Channels and ranges. So let's just get down to 4 hour. So we've got 3 touches on this. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and pretty close to the 4th touch. Anyway, so let's just get rid of that. What we do have on the 4 hour now is a wedge, okay, and a pretty solid wedge. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on the downside. We've got 1, 2 touches on the upside, and the last 2 swing lows are there's diversions. And on the Bollinger, we've got quite far inside the Bollinger, closer in the Bollinger, much closer in the Bollinger. So we've got 3 pushes down, which is a pattern that I look for. Okay, the gap is closed. We're testing this major resistance line. So, and we have an inside bar, which is a reversal pattern at a resistance level. So for me, this is a long setup. Okay, let's just get down to the 1 hour. Okay, so I suppose what I want to see here is just I'm going to tidy that up to there. Okay, my 4 touches, my 2 touches on the top, and prices just consolidating inside. You can see how the Bollinger has turned as well. Turned at the bottom here, and we're coming to the downside. Alligator is still pointing to the downside, so very much bearish, but this is a bearish bullish pattern. Okay, inside bar. So we have an inside bar, and we have a sort of a range bar here as well. So a break, I'm just going to use the range tool for this. So a break above this 1 hour high, so a break above there brings us to 56.50. So it brings us to this level here, which is a swing low. See there? I'll just put a line in there. So there. Okay, so that's kind of my first target, and where price is at the moment is 5,500, which has already broken this level. It's up at the 38.2 extension right now in the futures market. So that's kind of this break has already played out of this range. Okay, and my definition of a range is a body with tails to either side. I would prefer tails like this. Okay, but this does have tails to the side, so I will draw it in, and especially when it's at a level, okay, because it's an indication that something's happening. So this could be a final flag. What I mean by a final flag is you're at a major resistance level and then price forms some kind of a flag pattern. So either a flag or a sort of a double bottom or a inverse head and shoulders or something like that on the lower time frames. So it would be something on the, for example, the 5 minute. Okay, so there's nothing, there's an inside bar on the 5 minutes, so it's a 1 bar reversal pattern basically. And then you can see there's another range bar here which broke to the upside, which would target up the top here somewhere. So let's just put it in, and then you can see there. So I'll explain what I'm talking about now, because I'm clearly rambling. Okay, so there is a bullish pattern. Okay, so we're at a major level and we have an inside bar. So that was a trigger for a long. Okay, at 4:30, it's not the time of the day that I play the Aussie. Okay, I tend to stay out of the Aussie. At 4:30, I focus on the US market. So, but that would have been a long. Okay, it went up, came back, and basically came back to test the break of this bar, and formed a range bar. And you can see how the 50% of the range was right on the body, and then we broke out. Now this range bar hasn't taken, this is the second signal, and your target hasn't been met yet, although at the current price of 5,500, you can see we have hit this range bar's target up at the top here somewhere, which is also coincides with the downward trend line. So that's why I say when you're getting these big levels, the lower time frames is what you're looking for. You're looking for a reversal pattern on the lower time frames, and then your entry would have been there and your stop there, so you've got a 100-point stop loss on that move. Okay, so let's just get back to the hour, show you what I'm looking to do today. So I'm looking for the first price to me is going to be a retest of this level. Okay, that's going to be first price to me. Second price will just be, let's copy this. Sorry, I'm going to have to go a bit lower for us to see this. Okay, so first price is the bottom of that resistance, and second price is going to be just a gap close. So we are currently above this, so sort of a gap close. Okay, so that's kind of the area that I'm looking to get in for a long, and stops would be pretty much below here. Okay, I think lastly, before we close off, is let's just go to the 4 hour, let's zoom out a bit. So I know a lot of people see a head and shoulders here, and also, so this is kind of what a lot of people are seeing as the neckline for this head and shoulder. So there's a shoulder, there's the head, and there's a shoulder. Okay, I'm not really a fan of head and shoulders on the Aussie over the much bigger time frames because they very rarely play out. It's like a 60-40 percentage play outs, and 60 that it fails and 40 that it succeeds. So when it does succeed, it plays out quite violently. But at this stage, I know we've had a kind of a retest here of the neckline as well, but the pattern that is formed, being the wedge, to me is more of a breakout, especially when we add a major resistance like this. Okay, so what could basically happen is that this sideways motion that we're in right now is just one big broad wedge, range. So we're sitting over here, we've got another level here. So we're going to have to break sort of this level for me to start looking at a downside target for this head and shoulders breakout. Because to me, this is just a broader range at the moment. Okay, so that's what I'm doing today, and hope it helps, and I'll catch you guys later.